So this lesson is all on domain and range, so you need to pause it and write these notes down. Domain is your x values, and it goes from how far left does it go to how far right does it go. And you'll notice that they're inequalities, and the middle letter is an x because it's domain. Range goes down to up, and it's y values, so again it's a y in the middle. Alright, so what do we do if you get a question like this? It gives you an equation and it's giving you the domain. Well, we just talked about, you just wrote down that domain are your x's. Domain are your x's. So I'm going to pull up this handy dandy calculator just like we've been doing. I'm going to go to y equals, I'm going to type in that equation. Negative 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. And I'm going to hit second graph. I'm going to go to my table. Now, if domain are my x's, then I'm going to look right here and say, look, when x was 1, range is the y. The range was negative 1. So my first answer is negative 1. Then I'm going to look at 2. When x is 2, the range was 0. So that's my next answer. And last, when x is 3, the range is negative 5. So my range should be negative 1, 0, and negative 5, which in this problem is A. Okay, what if it's a graph? What if I want domain and range of a graph? Well, remember domain goes left and right. So let's go left. How far left? What does that arrow mean? It's going to keep going left forever and ever and ever. And right, it's going to keep going right forever and ever and ever. And we talked about this. If it goes left and right forever, your domain is all real numbers. All real numbers. Range goes down to up. Now, this is not going to be all real numbers because it doesn't go down forever. It goes down right here to negative 4. So it starts at negative 4. It does touch. If it touches, you put that line under it. Range is a y. And then it's going to go up forever. Those arrows means it keeps going up forever. And if it's forever, remember we use that infinity sign. So your range is negative 4 to infinity. And then remember, if it touches, you put that line under it. Okay, what is the domain of the function? Well, remember, domain are your x's. So guess what your domain is? All these x's. Your domain is negative 3, negative 1, 0, 2, and 4. So you would pick D. Your domain is all your x's. If it had asked for the range, then you would have listed all of the y's. All right, let's try another one like this. What's the range if they give you the domain? Well, remember, you go to y equals. We're going to type in that equation, 6x squared minus 4x plus 5. We're going to hit second graph. The first domain or x that they give me is negative 2, so I'm going to go up. The first answer is 37. Negative 1 is at 15, and 2 is at 21. So my answer should be 37, 15, and 21, which is D. Okay, sometimes they'll give you a graph and they'll want you to figure stuff out. So let me show you how to do this. If it says find f of negative 1, that means on your x, this in here is your x. So I'm going to go to negative 1, which is right here, and the graph touches right here, which is where? At negative 2. So f of negative 1 is negative 2. The domain, when the range is negative 4, well, remember range is y. So that one, let me do this in blue. Range is negative 4, so I'm going to come down here to negative 4. And it touches twice. Look, it touches here and here. So there's 2 domain values. This domain, this x, is at negative 2. And this domain is at 1. So that one had 2 answers. Okay, what about the opposite? What's the range when the domain is negative 1? So remember, domain is x. So I'm going to go on my x-axis to negative 1 right here. And it touches, we've already done this problem, it touches at 2. That's pretty cool. You can see 2 ways that they can ask the exact same answer. Both of these, the very first one and this one, we're asking, where does it touch at -1? Okay, what about solving equations? It's been a while since we did this. Normally we talked about you move your x's to one side, your numbers to the other side. I'm going to show you how you can do it in your calculator. So go to y equals. We're going to start typing until we see an equal sign. So I'm going to type 4x minus 9. Then I see an equal sign, so I'm going to hit enter. That's going to get me down to y2. And then I'm going to keep typing 2x plus 3. So if this is my line through the equal sign, I put the first half on y1 and I put the second half on y2. Okay, so again, that's what it looks like. And we're going to graph it. All right, so remember where lines cross is your answer, and I can't quite see that, so I'm going to zoom out. Remember to zoom out, you push zoom, 3, enter. Let's see if I can find my intersection. I can. So remember, you press second trace, the number 5, go down to intersect, and hit enter 3 times. So what is my answer? Well, this time we're not doing 2 answers. We're just seeing what is x. X is going to be 6. So what's my answer? X is 6. So let's do another one. Here's another one. Let's go to y equals. Let's clear these out. All right, so I'm going to start typing here on the left because here's my equal sign. It's going to type 3 parentheses x minus 3, close parentheses, minus 2x. I'm going to hit enter because I see an equal sign. Then I'm going to type in 2x plus 3 minus 9x. I'm going to go back and zoom normal, so zoom 6. That gets me to my normal graph. All right, so the intersection is the answer. So I'm going to do second trace, intersect, enter, enter, enter. And x is 1.5, so you would pick A. So good news, no more solving long equations. Just type them in your calculator. And that's it. So go try EOC Review 8 and let me know if you have questions.